are somewhat separate than digital images. And as we go towards the end of the year, you will find that there is a group of folks who always do digital images. Some do mixed, but there's a print crowd that is nicely done as well, and they're judged somewhat separately. So Michael is in charge of the print world. Pat Davis, Covenant Woods now showing. A reminder for everybody, pick up your prints April 24th, 9 to noon. Cultural Arts Center, Season of Change, that's opening reception on July 16th. And coming is the library and VCU Health and so forth. And so if you want to enter those, just be aware of the dates. And the Southern Exposure has all of those listed over and over again. Karen had voice issues, and I told her it was similar to cutting off a leg. She's probably and dates and so forth. And it's sent out to our member list, and hopefully you'll join and be a part of that. Paul, what a great headshot there.
Oh, thank you. I got nothing. Sorry about the audio at the beginning, too, folks.
Terry, second and third items. If you'd like your end of year scores, email. Buying a camera or computer equipment. If you're going to B&H or Adorama, if you link our club, there's a 2% gift back that does help. Right. You can't do it at the end. And a 2% on $4,000 camera is money that the club can actually use, and it's nice. And the end of the year scores, another whole rabbit hole, but education, Joe Ring, Marianne, any comment? Joe.
We can't hear you, Joe.
Joe just gave a meetup announcement for Sony Camera at Maymont on 23rd of 10 to 4 April. Okay. I was doing that for the people online.
Can we post that on Meetup?
That's a neat thing. That's called the hook, baby. And and if you start to buy something, go back to Terry's info and put it back in there. Jerry, did I say Jerry? Yes, it did. Carolina, comments? Do you have a? Absolutely. Come up here and give you a presentation. I'll hold it for you. How about that?
Thank you. Karen, could you come up here, please? Our member, Karen Davis, has been awarded for continuous membership of the Photographic Society of America. 5 years of continuous membership, and we appreciate you so much. Plus, she has been a judge for the PSA Journal newsletter contest, and what an honor that is. She's judging newsletters from all over the world. It's not just U.S., but it's just quite an honor. Plus, we have won honorable mention, and we got second place and honorable mention, a beautiful Southern exposure. So please read it if you would. And one quick thing from our conference last year, I have two little booklets here. One is our youth showcase. We support youth in photography throughout the U.S. or the world, and our students will mail in their work, and they're judged by our judges, and some of the winners are here. So if you all want to see this, plus one of our honorable members is a stereo photographer, and he has created this booklet with stereo glasses in the back. So all you have to do is just pick up the glasses, and all of these images that are double printed, you actually see them in 3D. So anyway, Karen, I'll give those to you to share back there. But
Congratulations, Karen.
so
Thank you. Tonight's presentation with Ann restoring old photographs. Ann's niece is pictured here with the original along with the restored photograph. Big difference. And teaches at Bright Point, taught at U of R, emeritus member of the 1708 Gallery, lots of other awards, and we're very honored to have her and look forward to her presentation.
All right, so what I'm going to show you, and I guess I was going to say this anyway, and that is that 5 years ago, I made a video on restoration, and I looked at it today to see what was in it and thought I'd give it to you guys. It is so out of date, I don't do anything like that anymore at all. The other thing I want to say is so I'm doing Photoshop because that's what I do. I'm a Photoshop person, been doing it since 1993, 2.0. I didn't start with 1, but I started with 2. So I've seen it go through all these changes. And one of the reasons that I really like teaching it is it makes me keep up with it. And also I make my art with it. So, and my website, if I didn't tell you that, I don't know if I did, is my name, AnnSavedge.com. So if you want to go see what I do, I have it up there. Yeah. So anyway, what I was going to say about that, and some of what I'm going to show you is going to be AI. And I don't know how you feel about AI. I have students who refuse to do it. But my thing is, if you don't learn what to do with it, it will take care of you. You know, you have to learn to control. And I was told all that when we went from film to digital. We were doing film back then. When we went from film to digital and like, oh no, it's, you know, I'm not going to ever do this, or I'm going to change, you know, I'm not. And I do have friends who still work in the darkroom all the time. But for me, I used to print my pieces. He's not getting it. Do I need another, had it, it was working? God, there was something I was going to say and I forgot. Sorry?
You got to keep doing your dance.
Oh yeah, I can do my dance.
AI.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the AI thing. So some of what I'm going to show you, a lot of that, because why not? And it's in Photoshop and it's a part of it. And if you don't have Photoshop, I don't know I can't tell you anything else. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I was going to say the reason I just took to Photoshop is I used to make prints and then I'd paint on them or I'd draw on them. And now if I make a bad print, because I do print, I paint or draw on them still. But the ones that I make, I get out of my 24-inch Canon printer, the good ones are the ones I show, and the ones I paint and draw on, I put up for when somebody says, could you donate a piece or could you do, you know, put a different piece in. So that's the way I do that. So I've always manipulated, always changed my images. And when Photoshop came along, it was like, wow, look at this. And my friend said to me, teach us how to do it. So that's how I started with all that. Yeah. Are we logging in again?
Did you?
Sure, you can just work on with a lot of the same things, but a print, okay, so this is the thing, and I always tell you this too. In the 70s, you guys remember the 70s? In the 70s, Kodak decided to come up with a color print film, color negative film, okay? Because Fuji was wiping them out. They had all the good color stuff, right? And Kodak said, okay, we need to have a negative color film. And they did. And it was crap. And everything in the 70s has faded. Everything. So that picture that I think you saw it up there, my niece, who by the way is 54 years old now. But a lot of those. So if you go back and look at that, at things other people have done, also, I'm going to show you a few things that I've collected from students along the way as well, where people put images, put photographs in frames, and then it messed up around the edges, or they had it in some kind of a photo album, and it wrinkled or it's scratched or something. So, do you have it now?
Mouse pad.
Will that work? Okay. All right. Okay, we're good. So let me get you on. Okay, says I'm screen sharing. That would be me. Okay, here we go. So this is the picture I always start with. I had a parent when I was at the tech center bring in all these pictures that she had paid over $100 and some to Richmond Camera to restore, and they did a crap job. And she brought them to me, and my students and I did it for her. She paid more than that, but anyway, and she gave me instructions that she had 3 children, and each one on picture day wore a different color shirt. So this is the boy that wore the red shirt. And so what I'm going to show you, my mouse is just crap tonight. I don't know why. All right, people, you're going to have to put up with me and my mouse pad. So what I do first in here is I want to look at what things might need to be fixed. So you can see there's spots on him. So the first thing you do is you start with correcting or cleaning up the picture itself. Don't do it once you started doing other things. Do it at the beginning. So I'm going to use. Okay, I'm getting a mouse. All right. Oh yeah, this is working. Okay, so I'm gonna get over here, I get what I call the Band-Aid, okay? And it's the spot healing brush. The other thing that is a miracle here is the remove tool. And I can use that. I'm gonna show you the spot healing brush here. And I'm just gonna go in with the brush that I have. So I'm using, oh shoot, what happened to my damn brushes? All right. Oh God. Hold on a sec. Oh, that's because I'm not doing a brush. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna just what I can do here, and I don't know if you know this, and I don't believe in teaching shortcuts, but if you use cut to make your brush smaller is the brackets beside the letter P. So I'm going to make this brush smaller and just click on that. And you see it's gone. And there. So I'm not going to do everything. The one thing I want you to look is if I go in close, can you see that? What this is this is linen paper. It has a texture on it. So when you scan in a photograph, it's going to show you the texture of the paper. And if it's not a texture like this, it's still going to have that paper in there. You're going to lose the sharpness to a certain extent. Okay, so I can go in here and I can get rid of that, but I don't know if I really need to do everything. I'm not gonna. But you want to get out the biggest parts. I think up here, oh, let me, yes, right, there's a lot of scratches right here, can you see that? All right, and so what you can do here is you can use, this is my favorite little correction tool, patch tool. And with the patch tool, you just circle what you want to change, and then you just pull it down to somewhere else that doesn't have scratches, which obviously I didn't do a good job of that. And you can get rid of problems in larger areas. What you have to do, though, is understand you can't come really close to the subject. So if I do this, I'm going to do it right on the side of his head and come around and then move this, and look what happens. See how it blurred out a little bit. It actually didn't make that bad. I thought it was going to be awful. But you can see, so those are things that you would need to be able to do, is to clean up everything on the original picture. Okay, so this is the way I start, and this is really kind of the basic way. Okay, I use adjustment layers. I don't, once I clean up a picture, I don't do anything to change the picture. I keep it like it is. So I'm going to the adjustment layers. Oh, shoot. Okay, sorry. Don't let me say bad words. What I want is there. Okay, I like to be on top of things and know what's happening out there. But I told you I've been teaching this since '93, and sometimes the people that work on Photoshop, they get so caught up in, oh, I know how to make this more technical or whatever, and then I go to do what I was doing before and I can't find it. So what has happened is a lot of the tools that I teach, I have to go find them and then upload them now. The basic ones, because I don't want to teach people the more advanced stuff until we learn the basic stuff. Anyway, here I am. This is levels. Okay, and you photographers, you should understand what a histogram is. So a histogram shows you where all the pixels are in your image. On the right is white, middle gray, and then black, right? And it looks good because the pixels are spread out, but it's not right. It's red. We don't like red. So we're going to go up to the top of this, and we're going to click this down, and we're going to look at the channels. So this is the red channel, and you might notice that it really doesn't need much anything. I'm not going to change that. I'm going to the green channel. Now you see the green channel has an empty space here, so you need to bring this up, and you'll see it starting to look green. Okay, so you guys know this, right? Opposite of green?
Magenta.
Magenta, right? Not red. All right, so we're going all to here, and it's turning a little bit kind of yellow. All right, and then we're going down, and we're going to choose blue. And then I'm going to pull this all the way in my video and just pull this down slight. No, this way, just a little warmer. And what I'm looking for here in this particular image is the skin tone. Now, this is the thing about restoring images, and that is you have to really be aware of what the skin tone is. Everybody's is different. I'm very, very pale. Some people are very tanned. If you're African American, you have a whole nother ball game that you have to deal with. And there are so many in-between shades. And so you've got to make sure when you work with skin tones that you have an idea what it should be. Okay, so no, I don't know if I like that. I don't want it to be. All right, so I'm not doing that yet. Oh, good. Oh, maybe that, yeah. Okay, so that is the levels, right? So I changed the histogram. It's okay, but you know, the colors are off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the background, click on the background layer, and I'm going to use the quick selection tool, which is one of my all-time favorites, quick selection tool, and I'm going to select his shirt. Okay, and I got it just right there. And remember I said that he wore red. So we're going to go to adjustments, and there are like 6 ways to do everything in Photoshop. Anybody's ever taken Photoshop with me, I say it almost every class. 6 ways to do everything in Photoshop. So there are a couple of things I can do here. One is hue and saturation. So I'm going to go to that one. And under hue and saturation, I'm going to colorize. Okay, and then I've got to go up to the hue, and I'm going to make it, whoops, and that's the kind of thing that happens, right? Where's the damn red? Oh, let me do this. I'm used to working on a much bigger, okay, I'm going to put this down. Going to go back here. You notice if I click on the icon, it takes me back to the, okay, and let's pull the, all right, there's red, see that? But I kind of like to make it not quite so bright. So I pull the saturation down. So this is the hue, that's the saturation, and that's really all I want to change on here. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the background, the background layer, and I'm going to select the background. Now, that I'm just going to use the same quick selection tool and just go around the background. Now, the other thing you should always do when you make a selection, always, never not do it, is go up here and see where it says select and mask. You're going to click on select and mask, and you can see where there's a little bit around the hair and the sides, and I can organize that a little bit by going, let's see, I can shift the edge to minus or plus. I think it's minus. Oh God, I did it and it didn't move. It didn't help. Contrast. All right. Well, anyway, you also have the tools over here you can use to correct your selection. And then you go down here and you're going to output, and you see output to selection, output to new layer, output to layer mask. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just using the selection for this. Okay. And then I'm going back to adjustments and it's doing hue and saturation. This is what I like to use. You might think it's kind of crazy, but I'm using black and white. And you see what happened with black and white? The thing is, I go to tint right here, and I can click on the tint, and I can change the background. And the really great thing here is all of the adjustment layers, all of them, you can click on that icon and bring that back up and change whatever you want to change. So there, not too bad, huh? What do you think? What else do you think could be done? Yeah, So I'm going to go in and just take my little selection tool. And again, remember what I said, 6 ways to do everything in Photoshop. So this is just one way. So I'm just going to go here. And what I use for this is the photo filter. Okay. And that's the warming filter. And I think it works okay. I can pull it up a little bit. All right. Look at this. Let me take that off. See how I changed the purple? I think I'll go a little higher. I just realized, you guys, projectors don't always give what's on your screen. So yeah, so there you go. So this is the guy. There he is. Not a bad job, huh? So that's like basic stuff, really basic stuff. So what can we do? I'll show you my Jennifer one. This is my niece. Actually, I'm going to show you a different one first. I'm going to show you this one. This is my father, and I think it was when he was in the CCC camp in the 30s, right? Yeah. So I just wanted to do this because sometimes when you scan things, they don't come out exactly right. And there is a thing under File and Scripts, Automate, Crop and Straighten, right? I don't like it because it cuts a lot of this off. Okay, so I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to use the crop tool. And the crop tool, I can just find where I want the crop to be. You see that? And I'm going to pull this in and this out just a little. Pull this up. Sometimes in these old photographs, you've got that little wavy edges on. You might want to keep that, if you have that. Okay, yeah.
I know in Lightroom, you can do guided, and you can say, this is my top line, bottom line, and side lines, and it squares it up. Can you do that in Photoshop?
Maybe.
Okay.
I look at the lines. You see the lines, and actually I've got the picture straight, but you notice the door is a little off. This side is better. I can change it, but see, I can line it up with the grid. So, and again, the hardest thing for me is to realize there's a quicker way to do things and not do it the same old way I've always done them. All right, and so here, this is what I want to show you. So right here, see this right here? It needs to be corrected, and I'm just going to do it on the picture, and I can correct the color, but I don't think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to get my other favorite tool, which is the patch tool, right? And I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to select around here. Okay, and then what I have to do is move this and match the lines on the edges. So I'm going to pull this down. What do you think? Is that right?
Yeah.
Think so. See? So that was kind of an easy thing to do. You can take the patch tool in here and take that down there. But here, you've got to go there. See, you have to cross something that has a different shade or color, or it's going to make a blur, and I'll show you that. So if I do this here, see how the white blurred into there? So you want to go cross and pull it down and make it work. So yeah, that's that. What I did with this one actually, because I thought, well, I don't need to. Sorry, I'm trying to. There we go. So I really don't want to colorize this particularly, but what I'd like to do is sort of keep the sepia tone. And I can do this first. I can go to adjustments and go to levels. And we have these eyedroppers here. So this eyedropper is white, and I can go here and say, okay, I think this should be white, and click on that. And look what happened. Okay, and I can do this and click on the black, and now it's really contrasty, and you may or may not want to do a little with the midtones. I don't know if I can. See, maybe that. I noticed, by the way, I don't think I went back on the voice picture, but notice that there are holes now in the histogram. Those are where I took those colors out. So the colors have been chomped out of there. So I can do that. But what I really would prefer to do is I can go in, and I'm going back to black and white, and I'm going to do tint and just make my own sepia. I use the black and white and the tint all the time in my work. And I just did a series, and everything I made the sepia, but all the sepias didn't come out the same. Somebody said, "Oh, I like the way they're all the same sepia," and I'm like, "But they're not." But if I want, I can make it a little bit warmer, like that. I can make it a little bit oranger, redder, or yellower. All right, and how many of you remember going in the darkroom and putting your paper in the sepia toner? I know I love Photoshop. Okay, so let's see how the easy way is. Take this out. I have a whole bunch, so we'll see what we have time. You have to stop me if I get to. Okay, this is Jennifer, and she was one of the first ones that I decided to learn how to use the neural filters. Okay, so the neural filters are here, and you go down to where it says neural filters. Who knows why they call it that? Okay, and what I'm going to do, oh crap, have I downloaded? Shh. Okay, I'm going to go down here, and this is photo restoration, and I have to download it. I hope it, oh God. Sorry, people. I forgot. You know, when you do something all the time and then you get on a different computer and you think it's set up like all the other ones and it's not. Yeah. So, yeah. So yeah, today, this is the next to last week of classes. So I told my students they could work from home, just check in with me on Zoom. And a couple of them show up. So I sat there and worked on this, right? On this computer, but I didn't think, oh, I need to download those things. Yeah. Okay, it's coming. This is a really remarkable filter. It doesn't always work the way you want it to, but you need to know that, okay? So this is the photo restoration. All right, so I'm going to click on the on button. Oh, I did, okay. And I put the photo enhancement up, the enhance face I don't want to do, and scratch reduction, because you see the places on here. So this is just restoring the image. And to me, it's a miracle because you don't have to go in with your clone tools and clean those up. So let's see, it's going to take a while. There it goes. Okay. Now, notice she credit should. I think you should. I don't use AI in my personal work, but I think it is important that you let people know that you did something like that. No, they're a part of Photoshop. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've never used mine up, I think. There you go. Okay. So look at her, and it's taken the scratches out. Okay, there it goes. Now notice she had a yellow dress on. And also, let me see, I'm going to output, and I don't want to do a current layer, so I'm just going to do a new layer. You can do a whole new file as well. So watch your output when you do any of these things. Okay, there she is. This is the original. This is this. But you see how this is kind of purple in here? And I just want to, I want to make it more consistent. So I'm going to go in, I'm just going to select her dress. She's about to have a grandchild. Yeah, does it tell you something? My great niece. Okay. Sorry. All right, what I'm doing is I'm selecting the blanket and I'm not doing a very good job. Selected because I could end up giving her a funny face. Okay. Now okay. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to adjustments. I'm gonna use the black and white. I'm gonna do tint. How about that? But look, see, that's still not that yellow, and I don't know why it's not. Oh, because I didn't. When I did it, I didn't do the dress. So I'm going to go and I'm going to go back down to the second one. I'm going to do the dress. One of the things I tell my students at the beginning of every class, because there's some people that seem to think they can be, there's no such thing as perfection. And this shows you, I've been doing this for years, but I still don't always. Okay. And okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the layer mask and I'm going to go to edit and cut. So, because I just lost that somewhere. There's still a couple places that are purplish instead of yellow. And I might think, oh, that's a little bit too yellow. Maybe I'll go back and just lower it down a little. Oh no, I don't like that. All right, so I can just go here and lower the opacity because I didn't want it that. So yeah, that was neural filters. They're wonderful things, usually. Okay, so when I'm supposed to end, let me know. Because I can, as my students know, I can go forever. I'm going to show you this one. This is my grandparents. And you can see it's been folded and it's really kind of a mess. I can, let's see, I think I'll go and I'll do the crop and straighten on this would probably work. Yeah. I could, but I'm going to go. I think it was originally kind of sepia. Yeah, this was, gosh, who knows? My father was born in 1912, so this would have been in the early teens, I think, which means it was probably started out as black and white and then it was toned. Yeah. All right, so now I'm going to go to filter, neural filters, okay, and I'm going to go to the photo restoration, click on that. I'm taking the enhance face down, scratch reduction up. Here, not go all the way to the right and see what happens. I just, when I have a lot of scratches, I do. I don't think I do on everything, but for me, the way I work with Photoshop is I do it, see if it works. If it doesn't, I do something else. Oh, okay, look. Nice, right? Right. Now I can, let's see, I'm going to say okay. And I think I'm going to crop this. You could always make a white border, yourself. Okay, that's not too bad. So now what am I going to do? I'm going to go back to the neural filters. You can't do two of them. You have to do one and then do the other. And I'm going to do the colorize. I'm like, oh, you can see it didn't really work, but now you can't because it's not, there you go. Okay, you see what happened is her dress has a brown bottom, see that? And the car has brown here, but it's kind of blue here. So you can start with this, but then you would put the adjustment layers in to correct the things. I'm not against using any of this, but it's just, it just works. Now with this, you've got this cool thing. You can go down and you can do, oh no, not here. It's not here. It's output as a new color layer. Look at this. So I'm going to do that. That's the color layer. Say okay. Look. So instead of doing a whole new layer, it is blending, a color blending mode to the bottom. So yeah, I'm not going to correct it. I just wanted to say it's never perfect. It's never perfect. Okay, let's see. Are we running out of time? Do I need to stop?
Martin will come out with a big hook.
Okay.
Pull you off stage if he thinks you're done.
We got how many?
10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's see if I can. All right, this one I fiddled with today. It was very interesting. I went to the neural filters. I did the photo restoration one. Again, I don't do the face, especially if it's a young person, If it's an old person, I do the scratch reduction, and there's a lot of bad things here. Photo enhancement, I don't. Sometimes the photo enhancement makes the face really smooth, and you might not want that. You might not want that. So it's kind of good to try these things. So what I did with this one today is I cropped the bottom, and you can see what happened here. And I don't understand why you would put her in a frame and have her over to the side, but that's what happened. So this is how the frame was, or the mat, or whatever she was in. And if it was not a rag mat, it would have done this to it. So that could be why it happened. I don't know. It actually looks better up there than it does on my screen. Usually that's not the case with a projector. So it thinks it needs a lot. I won't do it. I might just show you something, but I'm not going to do it. On the neural filters, no, I do the whole thing, but then I might layer mask it in the layer. Yeah, I'm not against that. What happened? Whew. Oh my God, that's awful. All right, so we're going to output to a new layer, and I'm going to say okay. All right, and then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to crop this up, Because as I say, you don't really need to worry about keeping parts of the picture that aren't working. And I'm going to crop this over there. Okay. And then I'm going to take the patch tool and just blend that in. See that? Go face. See if I You got to look at where it matches, and it's not matching, is it? Do it here. See. So I did that, and then I'm gonna go over here and do this sort of the same thing here. Just sort of blend it in. And then if I want, I can go in and do the, colorize it however I want. And yeah, I don't see this. I don't think about it very much, but I really like oops, wrong way. What I really like is I have the select subject here. And then once you do that, you've got select and mask. And then once you've selected and masked, you can go up here and do refine hair. She doesn't have that much around her, but always do the refine hair. Yeah. So, oh, depends on what the background is. So I've got that, and I'm not gonna, and I'm just gonna show you one more thing, and I'll be done. Okay, so my niece, this is her when she was like 9 or 10. She was adopted on my mother's birthday, and so when my mom's birthday came up this year, my mother would have been 104, something like that. And I wanted to put up a picture. So what I did is I took this, and this is me and my son, and this is my sister, the mother of my niece. And I took us out, and then I colorized, and this is what I ended up with. So, yeah. So I JPEG'd it, so it's not in layers. But yeah, so I colorized it. But what I did first, and I think I did I can do remove. No, I'm not going to do that. So I know what I did. I used the remove tool. I should show you that, right? If you don't know the remove tool. Now, my students can't use it. It's not in the student version of it. So I just took this in. God,
Thank you.
so funny. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, really. Yeah, so did I make snow? That is so funny. All right, somehow I managed to do this. And I'm not going to go any further, but I want to show you how to use these filters, but I also want to warn you exactly what happened, that of course this is cropped, but you have to, maybe it won't do it if I crop. Let's see, I need her in there. Yeah. See if that works. So I needed less of me and didn't replace me with some young kid, something. Yeah. And I took her out too. So yeah, we call it her gotcha day. Because it was the same as, oh yeah, they put somebody else in my sister's face. Okay, people, that's it. That's it. Any questions, any other questions for me? I appreciate you asking as I went along. Yes.
Scan it. Is it important to scan it at the highest resolution, or do you do anything to get the image from scanning world into digital world?
Excellent, excellent question. Remember, I told you that when you scan a photograph, you're scanning the texture of the paper itself, right? So you really have to watch out how big you make it. I always say in some scanners, you can set the output, some you can't. But I always say I would scan it big if I could.
Big meaning the highest resolution you can get?
Well, if I scan something, like I can't change the output size, but I can change the resolution, I might put instead of I always do 300, by the way. I would do maybe 600, and then I could see if it worked or not.
Scan this terrible image that you found underneath some book, and you would say scan it at the highest resolution and then you can back off?
I believe in that, yes.
Okay.
I believe in making them big and then size them the way you want. So one of my images that, oh, you undid me. Okay. Somebody did. It went away. Oh, the projector. Okay.
They can still see you on the Zoom.
All right. What's it gonna do here? So I'm gonna show you. Oh, I know. The biggest picture I ever did, there's this one right here. It's in the Chrysler Museum and it's 82 inches wide and 22 inches tall. And it was done from negatives, scanned negatives, and put together on Photoshop before we had layer masks. So yeah, when I started, we didn't have layers. We didn't have layers until 3.0. So yeah, that's in, I don't know why it's over to the side like that. Yeah. So yeah, and anyway, so I like did big, and I said, okay, I've done big now. So my last show I had, everything was 17 by 22, which you might think is big, but I don't. So anyway, okay. Any other questions? Any other questions?
Web Zoom.
Oh, any questions from the Zoom people? Okay. How do I get out?
Old pictures at home, you would say digitize them, scan them, color them, put them in an album so that your great-grandchildren can see what you were like when you were 12.
I ask my students how many of you print, and very few of them do. I print for exhibitions or to frame things. I did one, oh God, I did one the other day. Oh, I do not want to see myself. I did one the other day that somebody sent me, my niece, the same niece, sent me a picture of her daughter-in-law and her son at their wedding. And it was a black and white picture, and I don't have it with me. And it was 72 DPI. And she wanted it in 24 by 36 frame. Needless to say, so what I did, okay, I'll show you this. Oh, probably shouldn't. Okay, so what I ended up doing, people, the new filters that came out, don't see them.
Size up.
No, I need to update. Okay, there's some new filters that are actually the Topaz, Sharpen, and Denoise. And I ran those on them, and it did look better, but you could see where it wasn't. You know, you could see where it didn't work. And I didn't take the pictures, so I met the photographer, and she told me she had some raw files. So I said, okay, I need those raw files. So I hope she's going to send them to me. I don't know. All right, how do I undo? Do I go to share? Yeah, people ask me if I've learned other programs. I'm like, I can barely keep up with Photoshop. It's all I can do. And when they take something out, because I used to teach my students how to do 3D, do their name in 3D. Can't do that anymore. You have to do it in Illustrator. Yeah, and I could do it in that. So I went to you. Yeah, if you're old enough. Okay, so yeah, I'd love to share that with you. My classes at Brightpoint, or any classes at Brightpoint, period, and we have a really remarkable art department. If you're older than, I think might be 60, you can take it for free. But there has to be a space open in the class. So if I have a class that has 18 signed up, because that's how many computers I've got, there won't be a space. But quite often you could come in the first day and somebody doesn't show up, you know. Studio lighting, we have commercial photography as well, studio. We have Art 180, which is using Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. And I teach a course called Portfolio, which all the majors have to take when the semester they're graduating, and I have them make a website and do a PDF file of all their things on their website. Because if you have ever applied for anything, you know you need that. So yeah, so that's a portfolio. Anything I forgot? Yeah. I've taught a lot of places, as you saw, but I really love Brightpoint because I have older people and I have younger people and I have veterans and I have people that want to learn a new skill. I have every kind of culture in there. I just love it, and they really feed into each other's work. They communicate, they work together. And yeah. In fact, the old people teach the young people stuff and vice versa. You know, it's just great. So yeah, my classes are on Tuesday and Thursdays. The one is 9:30 to 11:30 and one is 12:30 to 2:30 or something. Anyway, Brightpoint, yeah. These ones actually show the screen like it's like another monitor. Yeah, it's nice sometimes.
And then you can print there too.
Yes, we have one of those Epsons that you replace the ink in. It's not really archival, but the color is really nice. And I was real leery of it, but because I'm a rag paper, make sure you've got the right. And my 24-inch printer, by the way, the ink cartridges cost like $100 a piece, and there are 12 of them. And when I have a show, and we're talking about the B&H thing. I buy my paper from them, Hahnemühle. If you give me the link, I'll try to use it for you. I'll be happy to. Yeah.
You'll have a membership.
Oh, I will.
Yes, that's part of your thank you for tonight. You have a membership to our club, and
Oh,
then you can just
thank
go on
you.
and
Oh, great.
fight and
I do have a history. with the Camera Club from the 70s. And one of my dear, dear friends, Bev Schultz, remember Bev? She photographed me in my skinnier days with infrared film. And we did a color thing together. She was a very active, and who was the other woman that I can't remember? Yes, yes. Those are your roots, people. Those are the roots of this place. Yeah. So I've had a connection with the Camera Club. I'm so happy to be here. Yeah. Thank you.